Welcome back. The title of this mini lecture is Colonial Latin America, Part 4. And we're going to talk about 5 terms that, as you do your reading and learn more about this time period, you focus in on these terms in order to kind of help work more efficiently and really, get a sense of what's going on during this time. All right. Before we get into the terms for this mini lecture, I should say at least one thing about language. So in graduate school, I studied the French language and studied Spanish as well. And while I have for both gotten pretty darn good at my reading ability for both languages, my conversational ability is relatively limited. I can have conversations and generally know what's going on if someone wants to speak with me in that language, but I may not respond the quickest. I may fumble or I may mispronounce something. Now, I often try to pronounce things correctly. I attempt to go to the right sources. I attempt to ask folks. I attempt to, get opinions and understandings. And I know that languages are living entities. And I also understand that understanding them is a lifelong process. So if in talking about different Spanish terms, I mispronounce something, I'm on it, I'm working on it. Just know that I understand that. And that I want to be able to base, this in these terms and in the Spanish language, because, to ignore that would not be right. So, all right, that being said, our first term, it's kind of 2 terms here, criollos and peninsulares. So there are many factors that are going to contribute to the era of independence across Latin America. And one of them is this power dynamic that existed at the end of the 1700s and the early 1800s. The criollos are individuals who are of Spanish ancestry, and they're born in the Americas. And they feel that they are of a certain level, and they are in conflict with peninsulares, who are typically Spanish individuals who are born in Spain. And the dynamic that exists here and the aggrieved feeling that the criollos felt really contributed, or was one of the factors why they're willing to support movements for independence. Now, we should, of course, keep in mind that for the criollos, that just because someone feels aggrieved about their status doesn't necessarily mean that they support equality for all people. It's possible to say that you're being mistreated, but yet also be not cool to somebody else. This is certainly true when it comes to this understanding. All right, second term for us, Peninsular War. So as a part of Napoleon's wars, one of the things that's going to happen is he's going to try to take over. He's going to take over Spain and into Portugal. And the insurgency operation that is conducted on the part of the Spanish against Napoleon is going to last for a long while. But the power vacuum that is created here in severing a relationship with the colonies across Latin America will provide an opportunity for individuals to begin lobbying for independence. Now, that's going to be a series of wars that we're going to talk about, later. But it's important to note the role the Peninsular War is going to play here. Number 3, the Constitution of Cadiz. This particular document, coming out of the era of the Peninsular War, is going to frame the rhetoric from which many of these nations will, again, articulate their independence. So again, Constitution of Cadiz. 4th, Charles III and Charles IV. These are Spanish kings that are noted in their kind of consolidation of authority, embrace of Bourbon reforms, and really kind of siding with the Peninsulares kind of over the Criollos and really demonstrating this this dynamic being on one side or the other, really kind of contributing to this exacerbated condition whereby the Criollos are going to lobby for independence. All right, number 5, Haitian Revolution. There are a number of different revolutions and independence movements and conflicts that are going to occur throughout the Americas at the end of the 18th century. Eric Hobsbawm, the famous historian, has called this the age of democratic revolutions. In Saint-Domingue, in Haiti, you're going to have a revolution largely undertaken by formerly enslaved individuals, led for a time by Toussaint Louverture, and his powerful action against a number of different European armies that are going to land and go to war here will, by 1804, result in independence and the creation of the Black Republic that is Haiti, which is a fascinating, fascinating component to really understanding how race is connected in Latin America within that time. Thanks so much.